This is Amud Yomi, Gemara and Berachos Daf Lamid Amud Aleph. Says the Gemara on the bottom of Chavtes Amud Beis, Amar Le Eliyahu, the Rav Yehuda Achua, the Rav Salach Hasidah. Eliyahu told over to the brother of Rav Salach Hasidah, Lo Yisir Tzach. Do not become angry, and you will not come to us avera. Lo tirvi v'lo sechati. Do not drink too much, and we not come to avera. When you go on the road, say, take leave of your creator, ask your creator, and then leave. Says the Gemara, is referring to tfilas haderech that one should say on the journey. The Amar Rav Yaakov Amar Rav Chisda Kol Yoytz L'Derech Tzarich L'Sval Tfilas Haderech. My Tfilas Haderech. What is this Tfilas Haderech? The one has to daven. And again, this is a little bit of a first cousin to that which we saw in the previous Amud. In the previous Amud, we spoke about B'Makav Sakana, davening a Tfilah Kitzara. Now we're discussing that any time you're going on a journey, one should daven Tfilas Haderech. So says the Gemara, what is this Tfilas Haderech? You're talking about Shalimi toward Shalom. Satzidenu l'shalayim. I put my feet toward Shalom. Says Mechenu l'shalayim. And hold me in Shalom. Satzidenu v'yav kolei v'arev v'adarech. And rescue me from every enemy or those trying to harm me on the road. V'sishlach bracha b'maisei yadai. And give blessing, bracha, my hand to work. V'tadenu l'chenu chesed rachmei minecha. Chein, chesed, grace and kindness and mercy in your eyes. V'veinei kol ra'ai. In the eyes of all who see me. Baruch atah Hashem. Shoymea tefillah. Amar Abaye says Abaye la'ilam. Always says Abaye lishati v'inish nafshei ba'adi sibura. Says Abaye, anytime you're davening, put yourself together with the tzibur. We're on the top of Lamed Amud Aleph. Hechinemo, what does that mean? You should say yourself, Lishalayim. Don't say it in the singular, says Abaye. Rather say, lead us in peace. Amos Mitzali. Says the Gemara, at what point should one say this tefillah? When he goes on the road. Ad kama. Until what point can he say this tefillah? Asks the Gemara. Ad parsa. Until a parsa. And how does he daven it? Standing. Even while traveling. Says the Gemara story. Rav Chisda, Rav Shisha, Vikazli, Barucha, they were going on the road. Come, Rav Chisda, Vikaimatzli. Still in Davin, the Tfilas Haderech. Amrli, Rav Shisha, the Shama, Rav Shisha told the Shama, Shmai Kavod, Rav Chisda, what's Rav Chisda doing? Amrli, Kamatzli. He's davening. Amrli, Rav Shisha said, Okamina Nami, Lediva Atzali. Okay, so help me stand up, and I'll daven as well. If it's good, do not be called bad. Since I'm able to stand, it would be better to daven at this point. And seemingly what happened was they stopped. They stopped for Rav Chisda. So Shisha says if they already stopped for Rav Chisda, might as well get up and utilize the time to daven. And now we go back to that which we said in the Mishnah on Chav Zayin Beis, the Tefillah Kitzara that we mentioned, and not the Tefillah Kitzara of davening in the Makav Sakana. The Tefillah Kitzara that when one is traveling, you say, Havinenu. Says the Gemara, so 1 second, Ma'ikabin Havinenu the Tefillah Kitzara. Because the issue here is, the Mishnah listed this as a Tefillah Kitzara. The Gemara then described it as Tefillah Kitzara, as Havinenu. So says the Gemara, what's the difference between the two? Answers the Gemara, Havinenu. The difference is, when you do Avinenu, you got to do the 3 regular brachas before Avinenu, and the 3 regular brachas after Avinenu. When he gets to his house, he doesn't have to damage your necessary gay. But Tefillah Kitzara, then you don't say the first 3, the last 3. And when you get back to your house, you got to say Shvan Esrei again. If you're davening Havinenu, you got to stand. Whereas Tefillah Kitzara, Bein Me'umad, Bein Mehaleach. And with that, we quote the Mishnah, We're on Lamid Amid Aleph. Says the Gemara, Reichev al Chamar. If someone's riding on a Chamar, and the time for davening comes, get off the Chamar and daven. Tanu Rabbanan. We're approximately 15 lines down, Lamed Amid Aleph, at the two dots. Tanu Rabbanan, discussing the din of getting off your animal in order to daven. Time for davening comes, and if you have someone that can hold on to your chamar, what you do, get off the donkey and daven. If no to hold your donkey, so you can't get off and daven, so what do? Sit on your donkey and daven there. Rabbi Omer. Says Rabbi, even if you have someone else to hold your chamar, still sit and daven. Your das is not settled. If you get off while you're traveling and you daven, then you're not going to be able to daven properly. You're always thinking about getting back in the journey. And Amar Ravi Timur of Shubin Levi halacha kirabi. And the truth is, this line of halacha kirabi, which we see really the focus of the way to approach tefillah, is traveling, etc. The approach is to ensure that one is not tarud. And that often answers to daven on the plane, off the plane, waiting, early, late, whatever it is. If you're going to be in a situation of tarud that every moment you're like, oh no, the plane's about to leave, the caravan's about to leave, etc., that is not the appropriate way to daven. We continue again, we're at the two dots. We're about 15 lines before the wide lines. Perhaps 20 lines into Lamid Amid Aleph. Says the Gemara, Tana Rabbanan Suma, if one is blind, or if he's not able to have intent as Ruchas, he doesn't know where Mizrach is when he has to daven. He doesn't know how to face towards Eretz Yisrael. You should face your heart to Hashem and heaven. Hashem, you davening to Hashem. You're standing in the Chutz La'aretz to daven. Eretz Yisrael. We daven towards Eretz Yisrael. Shenemar. They'll daven to you by way of their land. If you're in Eretz Yisrael, then of course, where do you daven towards? Shenemar Yisraelu Hashem derech ha'ir asher b'chartu. You daven towards the ear, Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim Yechavenes libo keneged Beis Hamikdash. Then of course you daven towards the Beis Hamikdash. Never Zalal Beis Alabais Hazeh. Hayoymid v'Beis Hamikdash. Where are they daven when they're in the Beis Hamikdash? Yechavenes libo keneged Beis Kodshei HaKadoshim. You daven towards the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Shneimar, as the Paul says, Valu al Makom Hazeh. You daven to this place. Hayoymid v'Beis Kodesh HaKadoshim. You're standing in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, 4 lines from the wide lines. Yechavenes libo keneged Beis HaKapoires. The kabayres being the cover on top of the Aron Kodesh. You should turn to face and envision himself as if he's standing between or in front of the Aron. If it comes out that you're standing in the east, you turn your face towards the rest. Meaning, now we're explaining in each direction. If you're towards the east, you can daven towards west, towards Yerushalayim, Eretz Yisrael. Everyone is having intent to one direction. This, of course, is the reason in Yerushalayim you're always going to be facing towards in Eretz Yisrael, towards Yerushalayim, towards the Kaisel, towards the Beis Hamikdash, the Kodesh HaKadoshim. This is the reason why those that live on the other side of the Kaisel, they're going to be davening the opposite direction. Amar Rav Timur Rav Avina Ma'ikra. What's the pasuk that we see this by 3 lines into the wide lines? Says the pasuk, the Tower of David is built as a talpiyos, as a landmark, as a hill. What does that show us? Tail, a hill. Shekol piyos pointing by that all the mouths are facing towards, and that is the Beis Hamikdash. We continue 4 lines into the wide lines. It says the Gemara. When they would go on a journey early in the morning, they would daven Shemona Esrei at home early in the day. When the time for Kriya Shema would come, they would say Shema. Says the Gemara, Kiman. According to whose opinion does this go? Like Yaitanya, the Tanya learned in the Brisa, Hishkin Latzis the derech. One gets up early to go on the road. Maybe in shefer if it's together, they bring him a shefer if it's Rosh Hashanah and he blows it. Lulav if it's sukkis umananeh and he shakes it. Megillah if it's purim v'kairei by. She hears man kriyas shema. Kairei you say shema. Hishkim leishe b'karnav isfina if he gets up to go on a boat or a ship, wagon or a boat. Excuse me. Spal alidam is at home before he leaves. She has man kriyas shema. Kairei of Shimon Elazar Emer benkach lo benkach. Kairei kriyas shema mispalel. Yudamin Krishma and Davin while traveling. This is what Gula Tefillah says. Shimon Elazar, you can't daven Shemona Esrei at home and only say Krishma later on. Because then you have an issue of being Seimer Gula Tefillah. You want Shemona Esrei and Krishma to be next door to each other. What is this machlekes? And with this we conclude. Mar Savar the Tanakh holds Tefillah Mu'mad Adif. It's better to daven standing. And therefore to daven at home. Umar Sav Shimon Elazar also in Gula Tefillah Adif, and therefore you daven on the journey both for Esrei and Shema. Concludes the Gemara with a bunch of Hanhagais Lemais Rayim. Mereimar Marzuch Ami Mekanvi Be'asara B'Shabbat the Regilu Ma'atzli. They would get 10 people together on Shabbos before Yantav and daven V'Adir Nafki L'Pirka, and then go and give the shir. Ravashi Matzi Badi V'Sibur Rabbi Yachon Miyushav. Ravashi on Shabbos, when he had to give the shir, he would daven B'Yechidas at the same time as the tzibur while sitting down. When he would come home after the shir, and then he would daven again standing. The Rabbanan said to him, why don't you learn which is daven early, get a minyan early. It's too difficult for me. I can't delay the shir until after I daven. Do like Kavod Shmuel and Levi, which was they just daven Shemona Esrei at home by themselves. I didn't see the elderly Rabbanim. It's true that Shmuel and Avod Shmuel and Levi did it, but I personally didn't see the elders do it. Therefore, he didn't want to do it. We see an incredible din that even when he knew maybe it was right without having the clear Messiah, he wouldn't do it. And we'll pick it up from the Mishnah on the next year. B'siyata Dishmaya.